John Deere brings to you the long-awaited S10 and Under Kid Mower, patent pending. With its pint-sized design, the S10 and Under is the perfect way to get your little ones started on that annoying yard work. Imagine the looks of joy on their little faces as Daddy sends them out there by themselves like a big boy or girl. Enjoy your favorite beverage as you watch them mimic your every move, carefully navigating their way around the shrubs and trees. But that's not all, folks. The S10 and Under comes equipped with grass-catching bag that's just the right size for small hands. No need for little Johnny or Susie to rake up the clippings anymore. They just tie off the bag and leave it by the road on trash day. And for those children with a streak of curiosity or a little extra enthusiasm, the S10 and Under has a built-in safety feature that automatically shuts off the blade when it detects anything other than grass. The S10 and Under Kid Mower, now on sale wherever you find quality John Deere equipment.
Oh, here we go again. Hey, everybody. Here we are again.
What is up?
It's your online in-laws, your digital daddies. It's Corey.
I'm Dan.
And we are here again. We're here to give you some wisdom, some fatherly advice, as we often do.
Yep.
And, take that advice, for whatever it's worth. Take it with a grain of salt, as they say, which, for the most part, I never understood.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't really get that. It's one of those things, it's like, where did that come from? And I just don't know where it came from. I don't really care either.
Yeah.
It's not something I say a lot.
Nope.
Anyway, we're back again. Check it direct. And let's begin.
Mm-hmm.
Party on, party people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are going to talk about more dad stuff because that's why you're here.
That's what we do.
Yeah, came to hear us talk about dad stuff or, something dad related. So it'd be kind of weird if we talked about something else.
Yeah.
If we started talking about I don't know, carpets.
Sheetrock.
Yeah.
Or something. Construction work or.
That'd probably throw them off a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't even know how we'd relate that to being dads.
No, yeah.
Dan's dad was a construction worker.
Yeah, which led me to be a construction worker for a while. So
yeah.
There you go. There's our tie-in.
There you go.
Influence.
We're here again to talk about daddy issues, as always. That's how we start these things, daddy issues. It's the biggest thing we worry about, really, because it's something that we're probably, enduring right now.
Yep.
Or we have, anyways. We're either stronger for having endured it, or we're weaker for having currently going through it.
Gaining strength.
Yeah, we're gaining strength. We're gaining strength with dads, with our fellow dad league. We're joining hands, metaphorically speaking, and learning and sharing and growing. And we're going to grow and share and learn about picky eating today.
Oh.
Yeah, because that's something that we're both kind of going through right now.
Oh, yes.
I know it hit you before it hit me.
Knee deep in it.
Knee deep. We are head first into this, just tearing into it like a bone, like a dog with a bone, because our kids are just the pickiest of eaters right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that you were saying something a while back, how you had started doing it, and I was like, oh, that sounds terrible. I hope that we put that off for a little while longer. And I think he heard you talking about it or something, because it was no time at all before we were going through it.
Yep.
And I don't know how this compares to you, so I'm going to let you go first and give your side of things as we do. We start out with the micro, so to speak. So you give your side of things, I'm going to give mine, and we'll see how they tie in together, how they mesh.
Right on. So my daughter, she's well into the stage of where she doesn't like to eat what we feed her or make for her. Like when we make stuff, when we cook stuff or whatever, we always set her aside a little bit and not put really any seasoning on it, maybe just a little bit. And she'll, she doesn't eat it. And she's ate it before. She likes, her favorite things are pizza and French fries. That's about it. That's what she wants. Other than her snack foods, she loves her snacks or whatever. It's weird. Like now it's even kind of moved into breakfast where she doesn't really eat breakfast. Of course, when she gets up, instead of giving her like milk or something, we give her the toddler formula. So she is getting, what she needs, or part of what she needs there at least. And she snacks throughout the day. She just doesn't eat like at specific meal times at breakfast. And then we try to give her something of some sort of lunch, something similar to a lunch or, a late snack or something like a big snack or whatever. And then we try to give her supper. During those 3 particular times, it's like it's like, nope, I'm not eating because that's what you're supposed to do. But she has her little applesauce packets and her little They make the little baby Cheeto-looking things, the crunchy things we call them, and
the crunchy thing. So
cookies.
you're currently, as you said, knee deep in this with barely a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, I just don't know. I'm hoping it's just a phase that she kind of grows out of here shortly. But yeah, she's totally, and it's just like, I don't know, it's weird. It just happened kind of all of a sudden. She just wouldn't eat supper.
All right.
But like I said, she's eating throughout the day, but just at those specific normal eating times, it's like, nope, I'm not eating right now.
I'm enduring a lot of the same things. And I feel that the listener that was tuning in here today to find an answer to the picky eater is going to be sorely disappointed.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have saved this for the end, but there's no answers here today, fellas. We are both, in the middle of this. We are too far in to go back and not far enough in to really get any kind of positive feeling from it. In my house, we get up every morning with a bottle of warm milk because we used to get up every morning with formula. So we just transitioned to milk. It's something he expects. It makes him happy. Soon after that, we usually give him some sort of breakfast that my wife is having before she goes to work. Maybe he's got some bagel. Maybe he's got some Pop-Tart or whatever it is that she's having. He has some of that. I feel like as I'm saying these things that I know what my problem is right now. We give him too many snacks. After that, he's usually pretty good for a little bit, but he often will get, or at least I can't read his mind, so some of this is just me guessing. But before his next nap, he usually does want, at least he seems to want something else. And that will inevitably be the size of a small snack. Maybe it's one of those strawberry jammies, or they got these something. I don't know if I would eat most of the stuff that I feed him. I certainly wouldn't try it voluntarily. But he has these little, it's like apple cinnamon bars or something. They come in a green wrapper and they smell bad. And he seems to like those a little bit. Of course, they've got the goldfish. He'll take his nap, and then usually when he wakes up from his nap, it's about lunchtime. So I give him, whatever for lunch, peanut butter sandwich or whatever. And he will barely eat it. He will eat bites of it maybe. And then it will always go mostly uneaten. Whatever it is, I decide. Not just if it's a peanut butter sandwich, but whatever, it will go mostly uneaten. And then soon after I throw that away because it got too cold, he will start to whine again. I can't eat because he will want what I'm having. So that's a problem. Then I try to give him something. He will ask for, he knows to say Nana for banana. And he'll go into the kitchen and point to the bananas and say, Nana, Nana, Nana. And I'll peel it and hold it to him, and he'll walk away. Or, he'll do this thing where he, puts his mouth on it, and then he just, pulls back without having taken a bite, like it's a dick or something.
What the hell?
And it's just terrible. Terribly frustrating. He, has made me peel a banana for nothing. And then I'll leave it out too long and have to throw it away because I'm hoping he'll want it eventually.
Right.
And we will have maybe another snack of some kind, maybe some cheese. He likes cheese. Whatever we have that's handy. Because I know at that point, if he's not had any of that lunch, that we're still in that phase. And it's different from yours because he's not asking for pizza or fries or hamburgers or whatever. He just will only eat a little bit certain times. He will only eat the same things. We'll branch out to a different. You have the applesauce things. We'll give him those, and then we'll try to branch out to maybe like a strawberry sauce or something. No.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No variety?
No variety at all.
We usually like to get the variety packs of the applesauce ones, and she'll eat her favorites first, and then she'll deal with the rest of them, but she will eat them. Yeah, now occasionally I'll find one that's been laying there for a little while, and it's gone warm, and I'm like, no, because if she doesn't eat them, you gotta put the cap back on them and put them back in the fridge not immediately, but you can't let them sit out like that uncapped.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that we constantly have one.
Yeah.
In the fridge from the day before.
Yeah,
and usually, and I don't know if it's because he's like me and he just doesn't like leftovers, but usually if he didn't eat it the first time, pretty well right away, you don't eat it.
Yeah, they don't want it.
Yeah, it's not like he goes back to it.
Yeah.
So it is not something that is ruining our lives, or as far as psychologically, or ruining them financially. But
it's stressful.
It's grinding my gears, man.
Yeah.
And not to jump into a different.
That's a double grind my gears.
Yeah. This is a serious grind my gears.
Yeah.
This is bad enough that we put it in a daddy issue.
Yeah.
Because as we said, we're both going through it.
I mean, not to cut you off, but the way I look at it, as long as she's growing and not regressing in her growth and her speech, and the fact as long as she's learning and growing and still happy and not whatever, it is what it is. I mean,
yeah,
you can't force them to eat, but you just, I guess I give her I know that's terrible saying this, but I give her what she wants, because I mean, she's not going to eat what she doesn't want to eat right now. And I've talked to a lot of other people, like I've talked to my dad, and I've talked to some of the dads that I work with about their kids, and they say, dude, yeah, that's a phase. Like, they'll come out of it and they'll eventually start eating a little bit more and a little bit more as far as variety, and then it'll growing from there. So you got to work at it, I guess, or ride the storm, ride it out, or
ride the storm.
Yeah, ride the storm. And
as we try to do, at the end of the issues, we come out to the general, to the macro, to include you, the listener. I think you hit the nail on the head there. I mean, I can't really change anything or add anything to that.
I did do a little toilet reading, if you want to call it that, which is, hey, that's really the only time I get.
Reading.
Yeah. And I did type in, picky eating toddler or something like that. And, they gave a few little things, but, like give them variety, and, well, she doesn't want variety. She wants certain things. So how's variety going to we give her variety. And then it was like cut stuff up into little funny, like get a cookie cutter and do like little dinosaur shapes or little star shapes, which, yeah, that seems cool, but what are you going to do? Cut up a steak like that, or cut up a pork chop like that? I mean, when we give her meat like that, it's cut up into, we don't give it to her whole and make her like a caveman and eat chunks off it. We actually have to cut it up so she doesn't choke on it. So that's not, unless we were actually baking cookies, which it's not really good for her either. That's more of a dessert.
I mean, some things, like, you could get it prepackaged as a shape.
Yeah, like some of her cookies are star shaped or look like a flower, or
sometimes chicken tenders or something like that.
Yeah.
They'll be shaped like dinosaurs or something.
Yeah. But I mean, she just, whatever. I don't know.
I think the thing to keep in mind, is that, once again, we harp on this a lot, but you got to be patient.
Yeah.
Your kid's going to come around, because your kid is just like every other kid in this regard. They're all picky at one point or another. Mm-hmm. And I like I said in the start of this, I had hoped that my kid was going to be different in some way, shape, or form, or maybe put this thing off. But he's not even 2 yet. He's already doing the terrible 2 stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Laying down on the ground, face first, and crying.
Mm.
It's, we'll get to that in another episode, I'm sure. That'll be a grind my gears, maybe. You just got to give them what they'll take.
Yeah. And try to give them new, like,
yeah.
Because everything we're giving her, it's not like we're giving her, like, these crazy random new things that she's never seen before. It's stuff that she used to eat all the time, like chicken nuggets, for example. That's usually a go-to for parents in general for their kids, but we'll get her chicken nuggets, and she, like, nope, I don't want them. She'll, even if we give her, like, we try to give her some, like, sauce to go with, like, barbecue or, like, a little bit of ranch, just to give her some kind of, give her some interaction, so maybe she'll think, oh, I can dip this and eat it. But she'll dip it, and then she'll lick the sauce off and leave it there, and the end of it gets soggy, and then she doesn't want it.
Yeah,
and I'm like, damn it.
He will just, like, he'll take a fry and just, like, repeatedly
dip it in ketchup. Yeah.
Just to eat the ketchup, just nastiness.
Or hell, if we have fries, and if one of us gets nuggets and we have our sauce bag, she'll come over and sauce and dip her French fry in fucking barbecue, whatever we're eating. Which fries and ranch are pretty good, but
like I kind of like fries and mayonnaise.
I like fries and honey mustard too. That's pretty good.
I've never done that before.
That's pretty good.
If
that's like if you don't have ketchup or you don't have ranch,
if you have to.
Yeah. You find that one lone one in the back of the fridge, and you're like, oh, yeah, that would go good with some fries.
Someone told me once that Chick-fil-A sauce was okay with fries.
Yeah.
I've never done that one either. I just now started putting it on the actual sandwiches or hamburgers or whatever the fuck they are. I guess they call them chicken sandwiches.
Yeah.
They don't call them chicken burgers.
No.
They don't call it hamburger sandwich. Did they ever call it hamburger sandwich?
They might have back like when McDonald's first
way a long time ago.
It was opening up and being.
So are they
I don't
just?
know. That's weird.
So okay, so they call it a hamburger sandwich, and now we've got it down to hamburger, and it's just the meat that it's made of. So eventually, are we going to go to Chick-fil-A and be like, "Give me one of them chickens"? like your daughter when she's a teenager, like that's how she's going to order. Be like, give me a number one chicken and the fries, and they're just going to know she wants a sandwich.
I don't know. They go by the number system, and they're supposed to know what each number is. So.
Yeah, because they do. They're never like, do you mean da da da?
Yeah, no. I guess it's whatever they punch in the computer.
But at the same time, though, like I feel like I respect the fast food worker just about as much as anybody.
I mean, yeah, it's tough.
They put up with so much horse shit.
Oh yeah.
They put up with bad coworkers, bad managers, bad
customers.
It's just, if you're working fast food, you're probably not getting paid enough.
No, God no.
So yeah, the picky eater. Be patient.
Yeah.
And eventually they'll come around. And variety.
From what I've been told, that's what happens.
For me, the variety is, we continue to make what we want for dinner, for lunch, whatever.
Yep.
And we give it to him then.
Yep.
And if he doesn't eat it, then he doesn't eat that. Yeah. He usually will eat a little bit of one thing or another, at least long enough for us to finish eating. And then after that, we'll probably give him a fucking snack or something.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we do.
You just kind of make it to bedtime.
Yeah.
That's another slogan. Yeah. Make it to bedtime.
Make it to bedtime.
Or make it till bedtime, or make it until bedtime. This being Southern, we kind of cut these words down and get rid of the ones that we don't need.
Make it till. Make it till.
Make it till bedtime.
Make it till bedtime.
Just make it till bedtime. I looked into getting some shirts, and those motherfuckers never even called me back.
Damn.
One of them wrote me once, and then I was like, I want I don't know, 20 maybe. And I never heard back after that.
It's probably not a big enough order.
I guess not.
But
I asked my wife how many she ordered at one place, and she's like, we got 7 or something. I was like, well, 7? Man, I piss on 7. I was going to do fucking 20. 7. Fucking 7. Practice. Talking practice. So fucking 7. Talk about fucking 20. Fucking playoffs.
Rodney.
Fucking Rodney. Bad guys all over the NBA now. Tough guy. Everybody's a tough guy. Fucking Rodney. So, tangent alert. That brings us into a somewhat hyphenated grind my gears. And you're going to give us a little bit of a grind my gears you got going on right now in your life.
Yeah. It's the no phase. If they don't want something, it kind of goes into another grind my gears I had. I don't want to give that Yeah, I'll just combine the two. It's the no phase / waking up grumpy. Because that's when it happens for me. Like, my daughter will wake up super grumpy for no reason. Like,
what the fuck are you waking up grumpy for?
Yeah, and then after that, it's like, oh, do you want to watch cartoons? No. Do you want your milk? No. Do you want juice? No. Do you want a snack? No. It's like, well, damn it, what do you want? Like, and she's just, and like wants to, I don't know, just sit there and pout, and she hangs her head and like crosses her arms and sits there just, and I'm like, what do you want? Tell me, you can communicate with me now. Tell me what you want. Wow. And she'll just sit there, and I'll be like, do you want to go outside? No. Do you want to do this? No. And it's just like, then just sit there. No, I don't want to just do that. It's like, well, I don't know. I just do what you want, I guess. No. And I'm just like, oh God, here we go.
So it doesn't matter what you say.
No. She'll just, the answer is no. And she just wants to, and then, but if she's sitting, like sometimes she'll just sit in the middle of the floor and do this. And then if you walk away, she'll start, oh, come back, like reach for you and, oh no, come here. And I want to do this. And you come back with whatever like she wants. And she'll be like, I said, here, look, no. And she'll turn away from it. If you even get within arm's reach, she'll like try to smack it out of your, kind of like not smack it out of your hand, but she'll put her, no, like put her hand up. No, stop. It's like, well, fine. And then you turn around, just turning around. She'll be like, no. And she'll put her hand up like she wants it. And then, it's a game. So yeah, it sucks. But,
yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, I just kind of let her not do what she wants, but at that point, I'm just like, all right, when you figure out what you want to do, you tell me, and we'll go do it. If you want to go outside, as long as it's not cold and raining or whatever, or pitch black, we'll go do it. Like,
obviously, you've said all these things like you want to do this, you want to do that. You're trying to help her. You're trying to make her feel better.
Yeah,
and if you just leave her alone and like don't do it, like if you just sit there and leave her alone, will she just like be quiet until she feels better?
Sometimes. I try to give her options, and it's all no. And then as soon as you turn around to walk away, she starts crying for you. And sometimes I just feel like sitting there in front of her and just kind of like mocking her a little bit, like making the pouty face and sitting there, like just if she's got her arms crossed, cross my arms and sit Indian style or however well, I don't know if that's appropriately. Crisscross applesauce, how about that? Sorry, I didn't want to offend anybody.
I mean, these are just things we grew up with.
Yeah, it's just how, that's the first time I've ever said crisscross applesauce.
Yeah, I think the next time I say it will be the first time.
Yeah.
And I'll probably have to say it.
Yeah, I'll just sit there and I'll have to try that, and that'll probably just make her even more upset and mad and angry and just pouty. But
if I did that to Jackson, then it would lead us into another grind my gears where we talk about hitting.
Oh God,
because like I feel like that if he had entered the phase you're describing did that to him, I think he would get mad and try to hit me.
Oh yeah, that's my daughter would be like, "Go away," and just kind of like push me away. I don't think she'd try to like full on smack me, but
he doesn't hit out of anger, but he will just often hit, and then even if we're like, because we never laugh at it, but when we're like, "No, don't do that," he'll get that little grin, and then he'll fucking do it again.
Ugh.
But anyway, this is your grind my gears.
Yeah, but anyway, it's kind of 2 in 1 because that's the only time it ever happens. That and when you when you make her mad, but usually here lately she's been waking up mad and it turns into the no phase. I could deal with the waking up mad and grumpy as long as like if you could like hold her for a little bit and get her into a better mood. But that doesn't work. As soon as you put her down, she's like, "No, I don't want nothing. Go away. Leave me alone." And when you try to leave her alone, she gets mad because you try to leave her alone.
I feel like we've left those listeners in a bit of a quandary again because they're thinking, man, I'm going through this. This is something that my kid does. How can I change this? Well, sorry. We don't know.
I mean, I just try to comfort her. That's all I try to do. And usually she tries to push me away. And
kind of like an adult woman.
Yeah, kind of. Sometimes.
They feel bad. They want you to make them feel better, but they really don't.
But
when you try, they get mad. They want you to attempt to make them feel better, but they don't want you to. So it's a really complicated thing. And any woman listening still, we love you.
Yes,
you're
keep
great.
listening.
Yeah, keep listening. That's about all I can say.
It's just one of those things. I mean, I don't like to wake up either. And if you woke me up from a nap, I'd be a little grumpy too, but I don't.
So do you?
But I'm an adult and I know better, so it's kind of.
Do you wake her up or do you just let her wake up on her own?
It's a mixed bag.
Okay, because we always just let him wake up on his own.
I mean, we try, but we're down to one nap, and it's kind of late in the day, so we don't want to let her sleep too late so she doesn't go to bed on time at night.
This might be its own little thing, actually, but we kind of figured that when he does transition to one nap, it's going to be a morning nap because he wakes up super early, and he's not up for barely any time at all before he's getting tired again. And sometimes in the afternoon, he won't take a nap. If he does skip, it's that one already. So we think that it, just can continue to move in that direction. Right. And that his one nap will be in the morning. And hopefully, I'll just let him sleep as long as he fucking wants.
Yeah.
He's not antisocial anyway, so I'm always happy to have a reason not to go somewhere.
Right.
If I can just say, the baby's sleeping, then that's enough for me. So, no phase.
No phase. That grinds my gears, man.
Golly, I feel like we should... Your Two Dads, subtitled "Be Patient" or something.
Yeah, pretty much. That should be the
I wish I could. They got the Guns N' Roses song "Patience."
Yeah.
There's no way I could incorporate that into the title of this episode.
No.
But that's really the cure for everything we've talked about so far.
Mm-hmm.
Is just be patient and be patient with your picky eaters. They're going to come around.
Yep.
And you're still eating the same things that you want, and you'll be offering that to them, and they will come to like those things eventually again, or in the first, for the first time.
Yep.
And they will be back on the road to a regular diet at that point. With your no phase, both of our kids, and maybe yours too, they grow quite a ways before they reach an age where they're able to really communicate and tell you exactly what's wrong. And some people never reach that age.
Yeah.
So you got to be, once again, patient with behavior.
Yep.
If they're emotionally advanced, then maybe you'll be able to just talk them out of their grumpiness.
Yeah.
As far as why a young child wakes up grumpy from a nap, it's beyond me.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what you're dreaming about anyways. So it's not like you had a nightmare or something.
Yeah.
Did you not make it all the way through the dream with Coco Melon or something? And you got sad when you woke up? I don't know. I guess that's going to bring us down here to the end.
Yep.
And as always, here lately, I like to leave us on a happy note. I like to leave us smiling, giggling, laughing, And the best way to do that is with a dad joke.
Yeah.
They never get old. They brighten up a sour, rainy day.
Yep.
So why don't you give us another one?
All right. Why is the word dark spelled with a K?
Dark with a K. I say it again, hoping that the answer is going to immediately appear to me, but I don't know. Why is dark spelled with a K?
Because you can't see in the dark.
Oh, my God. And it's so obvious when you say it out loud. Of course you can't see in the dark.
That's right.
Oh, and it's C and K. I should have known. Dad jokes make me feel so stupid. I'm just so stupid, dumb. No, really, dad jokes make me laugh, and they make me happy to be alive. If anything other than my son makes me happy to be alive, it's a good dad joke. Mm-hmm. And I like to give those listeners something as we leave them for another week. Let them spend those other 6 days by themselves, just with their families. I mean, good luck.
Yeah.
But, you'll see us again.
Yep.
We'll
hear us again.
Yeah, you'll hear us again. We may be getting on YouTube. We are going to be on YouTube. Look for us if you feel like, I don't know, just listening again and seeing pictures of us in real life. We're going to have some early YouTube videos of our episodes. Just going to be some, audio and some pictures. But they'll be on YouTube, Your Two Dads, unless it's taken, I guess. And then, I don't know, maybe you'll still find it. If not, I don't care, really. I honestly don't care if you find it or not. Just listen to the podcast. Please, just listen to the podcast. Share it, please. Tell everybody, please, I'm begging you. And also, if you have extra time, it'll be on the YouTube. Here soon, we're going to get an audio or a video set up, and we'll be live, at least when we record.
Yeah.
You'll see it. No, it won't be live when you see it, but it'll be live when we record it.
Yeah.
Like an old sitcom.
Yep.
So, yeah, hey, thanks again for coming in. Thanks to our New Zealand listeners. Thanks to our Belgium listener. You're one of our best fans.
There's some in the UK.
Yeah,
right?
we got
in Brazil,
at least
too.
one person in England. We thank you. Maybe 2 of you. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
We got our Brazilian listeners. We love you guys. Te amo. And we got our Canadian listeners. At least 1 of you, maybe 2, 3. Hard to tell.
Everywhere.
We love you. Hey, thank you guys. I say I won't read mail, but if you write in, you know what? I'm gonna give you a shout out. I'll say something. If you write in an email or whatever, we don't have an email.
No.
You can hit me up at Yo Ricky Spanish at Twitter. If you hit me up at Twitter, I'll say something on the and you can shit, man. My mind's not working. My mind quit working halfway through that.
All right.
I'll give you a shout out on the podcast, and you can tell all your friends that you're famous.
Yeah. That
you're on the internet now. And everybody knows you, because that's what it is. Like, once you start a podcast, you're immediately famous. At least that's what most people think, me included. I'm learning it's exactly what I thought it was. I'm world famous already, and it's great. And I'm so happy, and the money's I'm just drowning in money. If you find out I died, it's not from depression and suicide. It's because I drowned in money. Don't feel bad. I lived a great life, and I drowned in money. Not a gunshot wound to the head. We love you guys.
Yes.
We really appreciate you listening. Get out there and live, laugh, and love to the fullest, and listen to our podcast while you're doing it. Laugh at our podcast, love our podcast, and listen to our podcast while you're living. And I heard a cool fact.
Oh.
I'm gonna leave them with this. There's 2 types of people in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
There are.
Nickelback fans.
Right.
And liars.
Ooh.
So, which one are you, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes.
I'll tell you what, I'm a Nickelback fan. And I'm not going to lie about it.
Nope. Proud to say it. Love them. Love every album. Well, that means, there's 2 types, but there's actually only 1 type of person, Nickelback fans.
Yeah, Nickelback fans, to be honest.
So,
yeah. So there's we're all Nickelback fans.
That's right.
And I love you all. Go Chad. Go Nickelback. Hey, this is Corey.
I'm Dan.
Check you later.
Check you later.